Mitchell Show. You'll find it on the Karina Mitchell Show.
I'm Karina Mitchell, your host. This show features beauty, art, style, and entertainment. And today I'm going to put a big A on that base because we have art. We have an artist by the name of Ocie Lee Means. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. I found him on Facebook.
Yeah. All right.
Hello, Ocie.
Hello. How
and
are you?
Ocie, you're a fabulous abstract artist as well as stone. You deal in stone as well.
I try to be as versatile as possible. So I do sculpture,
Yes.
I do abstract, and I also do portraits.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
Oh, yes.
Are you a trained artist or is this all natural?
This actual is a natural talent because I've never been to school.
Right.
No one has ever taught me how to paint. Or
Wow.
they never taught me the things about the different paints and the oils and the sculptures. And
Yes.
so I call this a blessing.
Yes, it is, because you have beautiful work. As
All
you
right.
can see, the
Thank
art
you.
sitting beside us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a small portion. I got lots more.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, where are you from?
I'm from the south side of Chicago, South Shore area, South
Yes.
Shore High School.
Oh, right now. What was
South-
it like growing up in Chicago, on the south side?
That was a very interesting area to grow up in because,
Yes.
it's an area that doesn't have a lot of things like big factories and big companies and
Yes.
things, So I call that area a heartful area.
Because?
Because it's an area with a lot of talent, and a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of talent there, a lot of love there, a lot of heart and soul, but we don't have a lot of connections in that area. It's not a lot of manufacturing and things like that.
Businesses.
Yeah.
Now, you built your career as a truck driver.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
I turned 21, and as soon as I turned 21, I said I gotta make some money so I can buy some art material. So I went and
Oh, that was the goal.
yeah. So I went and got my license, and I've been driving ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, to this day.
So you've driven coast to coast.
Oh yes.
So has that influenced your art?
Big time, because going out west, any mountain area, it's mountains out east as well. But when I get in the mountain area, I feel like the mountains is a strong vibe there that
Okay.
speaks to me. So it's something that that inspired me to really start doing sculptures with stone.
The mountains, how would that? I mean, because you're around a lot of stone. The
Right.
mountains are stone.
Exactly.
What,
And
so did you imagine yourself doing like the presidents, like they sculptured out the presidents?
oh yes. Mount Rushmore was a big inspiration to me because those guys were actually there, and it took them years for them to do this sculpture.
Right.
And I don't even think they saw the finished product because they had various artists doing this. But I always thought that was intriguing, So what I wanted to do was come back. I wanted to go back in history with the stones. And the Egyptians painted on stone, so I felt
Right.
I should go back to my ancestors
Yes.
and use that and use my talent that way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really nice.
Right.
Speaking of the South Side, you were talking about how desolate the area was that you
Right.
grew up in. No grocery stores or
Right.
no manufacturing or a big city business.
Right.
But all you had was the love of your family and your neighbors and the neighborhood.
That's right.
And you were saying how much talent it is.
Oh, yes.
Right. And that's the same way I feel about the neighborhood I come from in Gary, Indiana. I always tell people, don't worry about if you don't see beautiful buildings or what have you.
Right.
Because the people here are so beautiful and talented. You got to get into the human beings instead of the infrastructure.
Right.
And then you will find that Gary is an amazing place.
Oh, yes.
It really is.
Oh,
Once
yes.
you get to find the people and do what you need to do here in Gary, you can come in here, hang out with all the talented, amazing people. That's how Michael Jackson. We used to hang out with Michael Jackson, and
Wow.
there was so much talent here. We hung out with Denise Williams,
Oh, wow.
Fred Williamson, so much talent.
Right. Right.
But they weren't interested in buildings. They were just interested in honing their craft.
That's right. Showing your heart. That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what they were doing, and that's what
Exactly.
you did, as from what I understand,
Right, right.
growing up in Chicago.
Yeah, that's why it's not good to judge. You don't judge people because you never know what they got inside. You know,
Right.
I mean, I guess someone probably looked at me and said, you know, hey, you know, he won't be anything. You know, I'm 54. I've never been to jail or anything like that. So
You
You know?
survived. Survived
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Aussie
It's
in a
possible,
good way.
but it's possible. You know, I mean, you find out what a person is made of, and then you find out a lot of good things about them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
What school did you go to?
I went to South Shore High School.
Okay, big
Yeah.
up to South Shore
Yeah.
High School.
1983.
Oh, okay.
Class 83.
Yeah. And so your desire was to be an artist, even though you hadn't studied art.
It's amazing. A friend invited me to his home at like 12 years old. And
Okay.
I guess it was too cold outside one day. And we went in there and we started drawing. And it's been a love of mine ever since. Yeah.
Just start drawing at your friend's house.
Just started
Okay.
drawing at my friend's house. Yes.
Okay, that's a start. That's where it starts.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
exactly where it starts.
Exactly.
And then okay, so now let's get to the abstract.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now when I paint abstract,
Mm-hmm.
I like to put on like Bootsy, Bootsy Collins,
Okay.
James Brown. I'm a funk girl,
All
right?
right, all
So
right.
that inspires my abstract as well.
Mhm.
What inspires your abstract?
Would you believe, a young boy from the south side of Chicago, I like all genres of music. I mean, everything from opera
Yes.
I mean, I listen to the music, the sounds. I just love it. I never played an instrument, you know, because I never learned how to play an instrument, but I would have loved to be a drummer.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So beats and things like that, you know, I mean, that's what keeps me going when I'm painting.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Then you just click on everything.
Oh, yeah. Blues, jazz, everything. Gospel.
I'm funk girl and Marvin Gaye. That's what I'm gonna put on when I'm drawing.
Right. To each his own.
Even though I play violin in the orchestra, I've been
Oh,
through
really?
the life of the
Okay.
orchestra and classical
Okay.
things. I love that as well.
Mhm.
But what inspires me with my abstract,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
You'll
All right.
see it in some of my work.
Beautiful.
But today we're
Beautiful.
talking about your work.
Okay. All right.
And his name is Ocie Means.
That's
Let's
right.
get that again.
That's right. Ocie Lee Means. I like to bring in the Lee because it was always something about my middle name that I always wanted to use it. You know, especially.
Okay.
You know, I guess I grew up watching the kung fu movies with Bruce Lee.
Oh, that would help.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Always
that would
interested.
help, Grasshopper.
Yeah. Right, right. But
Ocie Lee, did you ever do the karate or kung fu?
oh yeah, I took a few classes, you know, as a
Okay.
young boy, you know, but you know that went away as I got older. You
Okay.
know?
That's
right.
understandable.
Right, right, right.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Karina Mitchell. This is the Bases on Fire show. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to have some more art of Ocie's, and we're going to show you some of his stone, which is so amazing. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Karina Mitchell, your host. This is beauty, arts, style, and entertainment. You guys know about bass. However, this is Ocie Lee Means, who is an artist and sculptor. And he sculptures on stone.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw this work. You post up the Michael Jackson with this mic and hand protruding out from the stone.
Right.
I actually thought it was a canvas when I first saw it, and I was like, how did he do that? That is amazing. Well, tell us about your work here with
Yeah.
Michael and your stones, and what did you do to achieve the look?
Well, these are actual marble slate. It's called midnight slate is what it is. And I like to sculpt out from the stones. That'll be my signature thing that I do on the stones. I'll sculpt out from it. So I use various artists or scenery, or I like animals. I love animals. So I do all types of sculptures and sculpt from these stones, and this will be my signature product whenever you see me out and about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so what is your fascination with Michael Jackson?
I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Okay.
Huge Michael Jackson fan. So being in this area is just inspiring to me.
Gary?
Oh yes, oh yes. And seeing all of the work that they do for Mike, you know, and the family, you know, around there, wishing that I can be one. Hint.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
And
Oh
so,
yeah.
okay, let's move over here to this lion.
Oh, yeah.
Tigers and bears.
Oh yeah.
Now, this lion is amazing as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like the color. What type of paint is that you're using on it?
I actually use airbrush. I started out airbrushing when I
okay.
first started painting.
Oh, okay.
When I was able to afford my paints, I did drawings for many years from a childhood up to when I first started driving. That's when I was able to get my paints, and then I bought the airbrush set and I started using that. So I use a lot of airbrush and I use oils as well.
Oh, okay. And then the material is this. What is this to?
This is actual. Oh, what? How did that escape me right now? This is actual. I can't even think of it.
I know.
But it's actual clay. That's what it is.
Oh,
it's
okay.
actual clay, and that's what makes it protrude out from the stone.
It's the clay.
Yeah, yeah. So this is hard. This is not something soft.
How
This
do
is.
you get the clay to harden?
I get actually I can drill with these stones. I can use different materials that I can go in Menards. I'm always in Menards looking all
Okay.
around for different
Right.
materials, and I attach all of them to the stones, and they're permanent. It's not going anywhere.
I'm in Menards looking at stuff too. I'll look at a piece of wood and I would think, dang, that's big enough. That would
Yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah, you get a lot of
Right.
ideas out of there. You get a
Right.
lot of ideas out of there.
I love
Great
this.
idea.
I love this. Now, this art to my right, this is your abstract. I
That's
see
right.
that you are using just different metals or pieces to
That's right.
add to.
Oh yes, oh yes.
You're
I fell in
creative?
love with metals from different artists that I've seen using different materials after going to an art show in Atlanta. And I said, okay, I got to think of something else to add to them. So if I do something on canvas or I do something on stone, I like to add some type of material, you know, that I may find, you know, in the store or something,
Yes.
and add that as well, and just abstract it on, as well as the paint.
It did. It gave it blinging. It's blinging. It's blinging.
Yeah.
And from a distance, it really blings.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Right.
barely tell what it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then here, you like things to just pop up the canvas. Nothing
Oh,
is
yes.
flat here.
That's right. That's right. I want
Right.
everything to protrude out from every piece of material that I use. I did start out just airbrushing, you know, and you'll see different paintings that I use in the past. If you go to my Facebook page or something,
Right.
you'll see that I did start out that way. But as I developed my work, you know, I started using different materials that will come out.
And this is oil.
It's actual oil. It's airbrush for the background, and then I
Oh.
got the metals on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then to the left of me, we have another.
Yeah.
Very vibrant rather, in
Oh, yeah.
colors.
Yeah, I use the same idea as far as the colors. Oh, this is actually sideways. You can tell.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
But I got different materials that I use. I like to airbrush the background to give it, you know, the real feeling of an abstract, and then I use different oils and paints on top of that as well.
Now I can see the airbrush. I can see the vibrantness of the airbrush colors.
Right, right.
In this work.
Yeah, I like to use airbrush because of skin and flesh, you know, when I'm doing portraits. So that's the
Okay.
reason why I love the airbrush.
Right.
I'm always use that airbrush. And
I need to step up my. I'm only been working with acrylic,
Okay.
and
All
I need
right.
to work with oil and airbrush, crayons.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, yeah. Mixed media. You know,
Yeah.
it's. I have fun with everything that I find in the art stores. So I try to use everything that I can possibly use.
Okay, well, this has been an amazing day. Enjoying everything. This is awesome. Your work is incredible.
All right.
Right.
Thank you.
And you, you're such a wonderful, talented
All right.
young man, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you here on the show.